Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables. I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided. I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. Oh, someone finally checked out the notices I was posting on the board. You managed to kill Rusty Ardgol? Well, well. A few months back, he supposedly took out a high-ranking red priest, so the big shots of Camelot were eager to see him dead. But it was you who finally pulled it off. And from what I hear, he was a tough bastard, surrounded by a gang of killers. Congratulations, and here's your reward. Go chop off some heads. Go, the hunt awaits. Really? Oh, hey, before you go, I can see the bloodlust in your eyes, you know. It takes one to know one. So here's some friendly advice, free of charge. If you're seeking scum to slay, you'll find bandits in the ruins of a merchant settlement nearby. It's worth visiting if you haven't already.
Are we? They must have had... Who had you as their plaything? The church? But it doesn't matter now. I'm Avigor, a knight. I swore my sword to my lady's wit until she had no more use for me. Now, I walk alone. You look wretched, and you smell like death. I've seen people like you before. Broken. If you've had enough of it all, I could grant you You lived like a cur, but you could die like a knight. Wouldn't that be just say the word? Farewell, wanderer.
Oh, a new face. I haven't seen you before. It depends on who's asking. And why. No, I'm kidding. I don't meet many outsiders these days. I'm Marg, a hunter in the service of the Horns of the South. I don't know what it is about this place, but even the dead hardly ever get any rest. Though I'll admit, it's getting worse lately. They keep emerging from the local cemetery in numbers greater than that small plot of land ever held. So I'm guessing we might have a necromancer on our hands. And here I thought after the Charred Conclave, we'd have more than 100 years of peace from them. Only every century or so. But even that's too often if you ask me. Something seems to draw them here. Well, it's probably all that death. The South has always been restless. And after what happened with the sunken village, I guess death has seeped into the very soil of this land. Must be quite alluring for that lot. Because I'm not stupid or suicidal. I can go up against a few undead, but their masters are a different story. I'm a simple hunter, while they have the power to raise the dead. Arrows are only good against magic if you're far away from the caster, which is impossible in the crypt. But if you decide not to help, I'll have no choice, will I? Or I could just wait for the necromancer to be destroyed by what they summoned. It happens sometimes, from what I've heard. Good. And try not to die. That undead swarm doesn't need any more recruits. Everything is interesting around here. But ultimately,
goes there? Are you the one responsible for all that racket? People are trying to rest in peace, damn it. Oh, you'll have to forgive them. They're a little disoriented. Waking up in this way is like coming out of a thick fog you've been wandering through for days on end. Dulls the senses, clouds the mind. Terrible for... My name's Huardok, and I am the keeper of this place. I look after the dead. It used to be much easier where they stayed in one place. Now I need to keep making sure they don't stray too far from the cemetery. But... dead, alive, what's the difference? I am here. I always have been, and I always will be, until the day I'm released. Truth be told, I'm not quite sure. That was when people stopped coming here. It's like the sea. I don't remember much of what happened. Interested in local history, are you? Good. I can let you in. There is a small fee of 5 gold coins, for the upkeep of the cemetery, of course. It's constant work, as you can clearly... Bless you, kind stranger. Here, just... Oh, and I hope I don't need to remind you not to rob any graves. It's terribly rude, and I'd rather... I know everything that happens here. If you're looking for some juicy gossip, Beggar, they were supposed to be buried together. Everyone here thinks he got remarried and chose to rest with his second wife. Not me. I think he probably got eaten. Oh, that would be Master. He's been at his experiments again, I'm afraid. Getting the folks... Putting them back to sleep again is going to be so... Because it's my purpose. The sole reason I was brought back. That has never changed. But I'm happy where the folks here were forsaken by the living. Dunno. Usual. Glowing chalk, candles and dead bodies. I even saw some new faces. You want me to betray his trust that easily? We barely know each other. I wouldn't tell you even if I could. Master is master.
Careful there. Try not to step on the array. It's advanced magic. Very fragile. Stop. Well, what I am doing here is very important. Besides, I'm hardly hurting anyone. Well, anyone that matters, that is. Oh, please. Is that the only thing people can think of when it comes to necromancy? What use would I have with an army? My ambition isn't to command the dead, but death itself. I aim to make Avalon a place where people won't have to fear it anymore. The problem is, I keep missing something. Raising the dead is easy, but I don't want mindless minions. I want truly living undead. Yet no matter what I do, it just won't work. Me, lacking practical experience. Just look around. Practical. I have observed death at every... I have measured and weighed decaying organs. I'd wager there's nobody on Avalon more knowledgeable about death than I am. So... What a ridiculous question. Of course not. What does that have to do with anything? I don't need to die to understand. The servant, he's just a necromantic construct. He might be good at his purpose, but he's hardly ever been talkative around me. Perhaps he's forbidden from speaking with his masters. No one likes an opinionated servant, after all. Fine, go talk with him if you must, but don't hold your breath for any groundbreaking insights. Any revelations?
Oh, you're back. Does he now? That's quite admirable. And rather unusual for his kind. Normally they act as though they know all there is to know. Yet they always end up baffled by their failures. I'd love to help, but alas, I'm not certain I can. You see, death is intensely personal, and as such, quite indescribable. Well, whether you die alone or it can't be shared or taken from someone. In the end, no matter how it happens, our death, it's a potent experience. One for which there are no words, because there is simply no need for them. Nobody is meant to die and then return. I'm afraid not. But honestly, I wouldn't mind if it convinced the Master to abandon his pursuit. It's clear now how futile it is. He would be better off dedicating his time to... really, anything. Oh, you're... No. Every one of them thinks they're reinventing...
Well, what earth-shattering revelation do you have for me? Are you threatening me? Are you out of your mind? Abandon my life. That's, No, it can't be that simple. It sounds so... sentimental. But... But how do I make sure I don't share the fate of the others? And how do I remain? Ah, that's it. Perhaps that's the very core of the problem. What's needed is a subject who is perfectly... And that subject could only be me. Plus, there might be a few advantages. Let's see.
want. Your secrecy doesn't exactly inspire trust, you know. But I have no choice but to take your word for it. You can report back to the quartermaster that the job's done. But if the necromancer ever shows up to stir trouble again, it'll be your head. Since you've proven you're brave enough to face the undead, I take it you're not afraid of the night either, are you? I might have another job for you if you're interested. A little while ago, another traveler came through here bragging that he found a place where you could easily gather ethereal cobwebs. That's good. Hand me a map. I don't know the exact location, but you should find it in this area. Good luck.
This is my lucky day. You'll regret this. Your wealth is ours.
Yes? Did you find out what's been happening out there? Great. A necromancer. Just what we needed. It wasn't the dark druid from the legends, was it? Good thing you got rid of him then. We already have the Dalriada almost on our doorstep. We don't need an army of the undead to boot. You did well. Maybe it's not so bad having you here. You've done your part in proving your worth. All right. You deserve the truth. You won't find the captain at the Horns of the South. He ordered us to lock down the keep, and then he disappeared. I have my suspicions about where he might be, but I can't say for sure. And frankly, I hope I'm wrong. Brandon once said he wasn't afraid to go to the Dalriada, and the way he said it, I couldn't tell if he was joking. So maybe he went to make a deal with them? I think that's ridiculous. Everyone knows the Dalriada are savages. Diplomacy is not their strong suit. But if it's true, if the captain did go to broker peace with the Dalriada, you'd most likely find him at the All-Mother's Temple, where One Eye and his thugs are holed up. Getting into the temple won't be easy, that's for sure. And frankly, I'd prefer not to hear about your demise. Try sneaking in quietly, or see if you can convince the tribe's representatives to let you through. That's the best advice I can give you. And if you do find the captain, tell him to return to the Horns of the South as soon as possible. Galahad the Pure is already on his way, and he won't be pleased to find a bunch of keepers hiding behind the walls without their commander. We'll all face consequences if that happens. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Ah, those must have been the days. But then the ships stopped coming, and there were less and less new keepers, and the others left looking for a better life. Until, at last, the sea took most of it. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. Other than that, probably just damp rubble. I don't know, ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. No wonder we've been eating nothing but fish. What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and nobody wanted to anyway. Not since the monsters started coming out of the sea. We wiped out most of them, but new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Excalibur. You want to pull it out? That's a good one. Well, be my guest. If you think you can, go ahead. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.